Good morning, beloveds. So, at 4 o'clock in the morning, the storm rolled through here. And I only know that the storm rolled through here because the little black shadow that you see in my videos, Foster, came running to me to protect him from the storm at 4 o'clock in the morning. He was on my chest,
Surprise!
in my face, like in my face. And I kept trying to push him back just enough so that his whiskers weren't brushing me so I could go back to sleep because it's 4 o'clock in the morning. He was not having it. He was like, no, I must be as close to you as possible. But I was able to convince him to apparently, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, it's sweet and it's funny and it was, are you kidding me, at 4 o'clock in the morning? So, yeah. All right. It is April 27th. Our title is Today I Am Shown. Oh, I see I left a comma out. I'll have to remedy that later. And our writer is Christina Knox-Walthall. That's a name I hadn't heard before. Christina Knox-Walthall. And this is from 1985, and it was published in the Daily Inspiration, which is a publication. It's called the Daily Inspiration for Better Living, with permission from the Universal Foundation of Better Living. I'm not sure who that is. So, which the reprint was from 2015. So, all right. Today I am shown. Good morning, God. I turn to you in prayer and prepare myself to live the best day of my life. I open my mind to divine ideas and divine wisdom, and my way is clear. Good morning, God. I clear my thoughts of all that might separate me in consciousness from my Christ self. With my mind at peace, I am filled with life, strength, and health. Good morning, God. I rid my heart of all unforgivingness, so that your great love can flow in and through me to harmonize every relationship everywhere. Good morning, God. I turn to you for the solution to every situation I do not quite understand. I turn to you for the supply that is needed in all areas of my life. Dear God, thank you for being with me all through this day as my directive power. Make me and mold me through all this day. Then she ends it with a quote, be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. And that is John 16:13. I think I need to clean my glasses. Okay. I was not expecting that, but I mean, that is an excellent way to start your day. What I like about it is that it is clear and direct and to the point, and she is speaking directly to God, to spirit, to, the source of her being, the source of all of our beings. And the interesting thing about that is I was raised Catholic. And why I say what's interesting about it is because one of the things that I had with the Catholic Church is I didn't understand why I couldn't go directly to God. Why did I need all the intercessors? Because in the Catholic faith, the priests are, you go to the priest and the priest goes to God, or you go to the saints and the saints go to God, or you go to Mary and Mary goes to God, or you go to Jesus and Jesus goes to God. So there were all these layers between you and God, and I was just like, no, thank you. I'll just go talk to God myself. It's nice to have, saints and, all of them. And when you need a little extra help, it's like, but you don't need them. And so that's one of the things that I really appreciate about her. She's like, no, I'm going to go directly to God. Now, what I also appreciate is you could use all of them, or is there just one in particular that you need? So the first one is I turn to you in prayer and prepare myself to live the best day of my life. Well, honestly, why can't we do that every day? Why can't we turn to God and say, well, I'm going to live the best day of my life today. And start your day that way. Start your day that way. I open my mind to divine ideas and divine wisdom, and my way is clear. So it's like, look, I'm my own agent, I have my own agency, but I'm willing to be guided. It's like, if if I'm walking along in my path and there's an opportunity, I want to be able to see it. So feel free to grab my attention to that opportunity. The second one, I clear my thoughts of all that might separate me in consciousness from my Christ self. Now, see, I talk about the Christ self as the same way. It's like, okay, this is software. We come pre-installed with it. We already have the Christ self. It's up to us to activate it. Well, how do we activate it? I always tell you the password is love. Well, right here, she's like, I clear my thoughts of anything that might separate me from my Christ self, which is anything that doesn't look like love. With my mind at peace, I am filled with strength and with life, strength, and health. And then her third one is, I rid my heart of all unforgivingness so that your great love can flow in and through me to harmonize every relationship. Okay, so I'm letting go of any unforgivingness. It's like, look, you know what? And that's when we talk about forgiveness work. Forgiveness work is absolutely for you. It has little to nothing to do with the person that you are forgiving, because you do not have to go to them and say, I forgive you. Now you can, and that may take some weight off of them, but it is really about you. It is really about you, and letting go. And then she says, so that your love, the divine love, can flow in me, because I am a receptacle for it, but I am also a channel for it, which means it flows through me. Okay? And it harmonizes every relationship. Okay? So, and that's what we've been talking about. I think Jesse was talking about it on Sunday also. It's like, all right, what I want for myself, I want for everybody. So the divine love, I am channeling divine love into this world to harmonize every relationship. Not just my relationships, but every relationship. It can work that way. All right. And then her last one is, I turn to you for the solution to every situation I don't quite understand. And what I like about that is, look, you know what? If I've got this, I've got this. But if I don't got this, then I know I've got a silent partner back of me that will guide me in situations that maybe I don't know. Maybe I realize that I don't know everything, which is for most situations, and sometimes that guidance is to another person who has more, has a little bit more information than I do. I turn to you for the supply that is needed in all areas of my life. What I am doing is recognizing that the source of abundance, the source of all, is God. I don't have to take my supply, my source, from anybody else, because my source is God. And from there, things will fall into place. I will be guided to do the things that I need to do to bring me the things that I need to do, whatever it is that I need to do. All right. And then absolutely the last one is gratitude. Dear God, thank you for being with me all through this day as my directive power. Make me and mold me throughout this day. All right. Now, Christine Knox-Walthall is not saying I can't do it on my own. What Christine Knox-Walthall is saying is I don't have to do it on my own. I have this amazing silent partner who brings all of this amazingness into my life, and what I am doing is getting out of my own way to let it flow through me. We frequently say God can only do for us what God can do through us. Well, what she is doing is setting her intentions for the day by getting anything that might get in her way out of her way. That is a beautiful way to start the day. So I'm grateful that I got to read it this morning. And I'm an advocate for when things strike you, if any one of those phrases, or all of those phrases for that matter, spoke to you, I'm a big advocate of putting it on the mirror where you brush your teeth, because then you see it twice a day. And dry erase markers on mirrors are a good thing, or just, type it out and post it up. it's we're closing in on our first month, and I've really, really, really enjoyed this book already. It's fantastic. But I've enjoyed all the books that I've done. So I hope you continue on this journey with me. All right. So the mission today, should we choose to accept it? I want to go back to that phrase about getting out of the way of my Christ self. Okay. Because that one was just particularly good. So the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to clear our thoughts of all that might separate us in consciousness from our Christ self. That's the mission. Every day. To clear our consciousness, to weed our garden of anything that might separate us from our Christ consciousness, our Christ self. Because like I said, you come pre-installed with it. It's the way we're built. It's factory settings. So sometimes we want to reset ourselves to factory settings. Okay, so that's the mission. The other part is the same thing that I suggest every day, which is the spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself. Whatever that looks like. Big, small, doesn't matter. Point is to practice on yourself. I say that for about 3 good reasons. The solid one is you are your own best test subject. Try loving, kind, and compassionate things out on yourself. You get immediate feedback. Is this loving? Is this kind? Is this compassionate? The second reason is I'm encouraging you to create a habit, a first response. And I will remind you the difference between a reaction and a response is a moment of consciousness. However long that moment needs to be, that's between you and your source. But, to create that so that no matter what happens in your life, you can respond lovingly, kindly, and compassionately. It is about creating a well-worn path that you can travel blindfolded to the source of your own being, no matter what is going on. And 3, you deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. Absolutely. I do not even hide the fact that this is about self-care. If you are going to live a life of service, you have to take care of yourself first. Okay? I'll remind you what they say on the airplane. If the oxygen masks drop, put yours on first, then help your neighbor. Okay? All right. And then we go silent because the script has, fluttered off into the wind. But love, kindness, compassion. It can look like a deep breath before you speak. It can look like taking a walk. It can look like taking a nap. It can look like taking a break. It can look like making room for joy. I said, up into a certain point, eat dessert first. And then I realized that was my way of saying your life is a special occasion. Treat it as such. Don't save the good stuff. Don't save the good stuff. And then I went, oh, that's what I'm talking about. You're a beloved child of God. One of the qualities of God is joy. Make room for joy in your life. No matter what is going on in the world, you deserve joy. So make room for it. All right. And occasionally that looks like eating dessert first. All right. The rest of my suggestions, because like I said, definitely about self-care. Do something to engage your mind and your body today, whatever that looks like. Drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important. Your brain works better when it's well hydrated. And get early in your day bright light. The bright light, especially sunlight, but like today, we had that storm roll through, so there was no sunlight this morning. So artificial light can help, but early in your day bright light resets your hormone cycle. It's called a circadian rhythm. It is science. You can look it up. But that early in your day resets that cycle, and then you'll have more energy during the day and you'll sleep better at night. It's science. You can look it up. And then, as always, my Ernest Holmes quote, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. What that reminds us is that heaven is a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. It is not a place. But if you can create that mindset, you can create that consciousness, it can become any place. Straight up superpower. but it's one that you have. And once you learn to do it, then you can hold up your lamp so that everybody else can learn to do it for themselves. I can't create heaven for you, but what I can do is show you your own path. And I can walk beside you. So that is my goal. All right, beloveds. And you can always take Emma's advice. Look for the good and praise it. Look for the good and praise it. All right. I'm going to move through, which means I'm at the social media part. Creative Life Spirit. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on, so you can look out for that. That's where all of these books are archived, is on the running Rev Ryan. But there's fantastic stuff on the Creative Life Spiritual Center YouTube. I do encourage you to please go check out the playlist. There's lots of good stuff. All right. Oh, and you want to know what's going on with Center? Email info@creativelife.org. That'll get you on the constant contact. The hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it'll either take you right to the place or to the person that can get it for you. Okay. And jumping to, I guess, I'm at the part where I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, a getting out of your own way day, a talking straight to God day, a clearing your consciousness day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. As I've said before and will say again, you are a beloved child of God, in whom God is well pleased and well represented. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. You're a godling. All right? Remember who you are. Know the truth about your own being. And then know the truth about everybody else's being. The goal is to be able to look into the eyes of anyone, any sentient being, see God looking back at you, including your own. All right, beloveds. I am going to move on into the rest of my day. I'm going to remind you that Reverend David, the cat just dashed out of the room. I'm going to remind you that Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.